Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chef Guru with Aloo Tikki Burger. So we have these boiled potatoes that I have peeled, and these boiled potatoes had been stored in refrigerator for 4 hours before I peeled them. What happens this way? They remain pretty firm and they do not have any moisture, so your tikkis come out really good. So before you peel these potatoes, make sure you refrigerate them for at least 2 hours to 4 hours. And now we are grating them. We will grate them into thin long juliens. And how many potatoes did I say I've taken? Around 7 to 8. You can take as much as you like depending on how many tikkis you want to make. So this is how it looks. Can you see how firm it is? And no moisture at all. Now we have taken a skillet to which we'll be adding these boiled and grated potatoes. And we'll follow them with a lot of spices we need to add. To begin with, we'll go ahead with the salt. But before that, I need to get this into focus. There it is. Good. So now let's begin by adding some salt here. We'll add around 1 teaspoon of salt. Again, it depends on your taste. And half a teaspoon of black pepper powder. So here we have some catch chaat masala. I'll be adding half a teaspoon of chaat masala here. And these are a few spices that we were interested in. We are not interested in any more spices. If in case you want, you can add a lot of spices. Some people also add peas, green peas. You may also add that. Now we'll add some breadcrumbs here, which will give that crunchy taste to your tikkis. And do not worry about those chicken pieces on this pack of breadcrumbs. It is purely veg. So those breadcrumbs are usually used to make those KFC kind of, chicken fried recipes. But I'm not adding anything that is chicken into this. So these breadcrumbs are nothing but breadcrumbs. Alright, so we added around 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, and we are now adding 2 tablespoons of corn flour. So what the corn flour does is it binds your mixture thoroughly, and it doesn't allow the tikkis to break when we are cooking them in hot oil. So we'll mash this up pretty well and make sure there are no lumps. Mash it very properly, just like you mash your dough. So now we have prepared this like a dough, and it looks good. It's time for us now to make out some good round balls out of this and then shape them into tikkis. Let's see how that process works. So I've already prepared, as you can see, a few balls here using that dough we had. And this is how I did that. Rotate it comfortably round and round, and then in between your palms, just move it in the clockwise direction for a couple of seconds, and there you are. So easy, isn't it? So like this, we'll prepare all the balls that are available from the mixture that we have, and this is what we got. So now let's arrange them and turn them into shapes which tikkis look like. So for doing that, we'll take some corn flour and spread it over this wooden plank like a highway. Yes, exactly like a highway. And we will take one of these balls first. Let's grab them, press them gently, and now switch them over so that both the sides are applied with the corn flour. And now run them on this flyover. Not the flyover, I mean the highway, so that the edges are firm and they don't break. So once again, one side, the other side, and then run them nicely onto this, giving them a nice edge all around the corners. The corners, circles don't have corners, do they? So I just said corners. Alright, so we'll proceed with the same procedure for all of these one by one and complete the process. So So I hope you've understood why we have used corn flour at many of these places in this recipe, because we want things not to break, especially while they're cooking in deep hot oil. So this is what we have now. A very important step that the most restaurants across the globe follow. So we'll take all these tikkis one by one and ziplock them into a ziplock pouch. And I don't have a ziplock pouch right now with me, so I'm using aluminium foil. So we'll place them within an aluminium foil, and after that we will refrigerate them in the freezer for around at least 2 hours. What happens by this process is they become very firm, and when you fry them there are very less chances of them breaking up. And another benefit of refrigerating your tikkis right now this way is you can store them for a long time and use them as much as you want whenever you want, isn't it? So I've taken a skillet, and in this skillet I've added enough oil so that my tikkis are deep fried, and I'm using one of these tikkis, dropping them, and the oil was so hot that I did not want to drop it using my fingers, so I just used the ladle's help and I dropped it. So make sure the oil is pretty hot, very hot, and then you drop it within, and after a few seconds you have to flip it over and keep cooking this for an overall time of 1.5 minutes. That is approximately around 90 seconds. And if your tikkis are very large in size, then you can go ahead with around 2 minutes. But just make sure they are golden brown in color, something like, the one that I'll be showing you right now in a couple of seconds. And if it is golden brown, it's time for you to take them out and fry the rest of them. You remember these tikkis have been taken out from the fridge after around 2 to 4 hours, so they're pretty cold, and when you add them to the oil's temperature goes very low. So make sure your oil is always at a high flame when you cook them. So I just grabbed one of them because it was cooked, and since it's cooked fine, well and good, I'll be adding the rest of the tikkis and dropping them one by one here, and we'll deep fry them just the way we deep fried the first one. And there goes the third one. So we'll continue the process. So we have deep fried all our tikkis, and now we've taken a pan to which we have added a little oil, in which we will be tossing up our burger bun. So this is my burger, which we'll be slicing into 2 halves using my bread knife. There you are. So we'll toss them up and roast them up slightly from the inside. Make sure you smear all the oil that is available, and please do not use a lot of oil, that will spoil your burger. At the same time, make sure your flame is low, you're cooking at a low flame so that you don't burn your burger. And just for a few seconds you keep it, toss it, roll it over, and remove your buns. So simple. It's time for us now to apply some sauce. But before we apply some sauce, it's time for us to prepare some sauce. That's the top and that's the bottom to the left. Here is my homemade mayonnaise sauce, and this is my mint sauce. So this mayonnaise you can also buy from the local store. You can get it easily these days, yeah. And now it's time for us to prepare our mint mayonnaise. How do we prepare that? We'll take up 2 teaspoons of mayonnaise in the third bowl. And to this we'll be adding 1 teaspoon of our green mint chutney. We'll give this a nice mix, and congratulations, you just prepared your first mint mayonnaise sauce. How simple was that? Very simple. What about the rest of the 2 sauces? Discard them. We don't need them. We need this one, mint mayonnaise. There we are, ladies and gentlemen. Let's toss it over. We'll just discard this top bun, and we'll take the bottom one, the base. Begin with applying the sauce. Which sauce? Of course, mint mayonnaise, the one that you just prepared. Now I like a lot of it. I'm just gonna add a lot. And I've got some nice shredded fresh cabbage. You can just add that. In case you have lettuce, that would be very nice. You can add lettuce instead of cabbage. We'll toss it over with the 2 cucumber slices, 2 tomato slices, and of course our aloo tikki. There it goes. We'll add in some onion rings. And after you add your onion rings, you may also be interested in adding some salt and pepper. Though I didn't add it this time because I don't like it. But we'll be adding our favorite sauce. Once again the same one, mint mayonnaise. And finally comes the top, like a mushroom. It goes over it. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Aloo Tikki Burger at your disposal. Enjoy it with French fries. I did not have any. I enjoyed it just like that. Thank you so much.